Good Friday rainy afternoon. It's been a messy day today, hasn't it?
It has.
Well, I guess that's because of that minor hurricane. I think it's a Category 1 hurricane off the coast right now.
Yeah.
So I am Big T. To my left is Big J. Welcome back to J&T Sports and More. We're loving this. We officially are on YouTube finally. I've been posting all of our YouTube videos on there, so if you don't have time to listen to it here, or if you just want to be able to get it at a more convenient place that you're there every day, go to YouTube. See us there, J&T Sports and More. Same logo. We don't have our videos, you can't see our faces yet. That's coming down the road.
Yeah. Enjoy it while you can, not seeing us, just be thankful. But
No.
yeah, but you can still listen to it on there.
Yeah, you can still listen to it, along with all of the other YouTube videos and stuff. Just put it in the background while you're, every TV has YouTube on it.
Yeah.
So you can just put the podcast on YouTube, turn your TV up, and then clean the house.
Yep.
Super easy.
That's right.
You can enjoy us a little bit. But we appreciate all the likes and follows on Facebook. We're really enjoying this. This is it's a dream, right? Just having fun doing this.
Yep.
But yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna start with the first topic because it's something that I'm very versed on. Is that the word I'm looking for? Versed?
Yeah. I believe something like that, knowledgeable, versed.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sort of tired again, so this might be one of those kind of, I almost said vlog, podcast.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling it. It's
the rain. Yeah.
It's the rain.
The rain always throws me off. Always. First podcast topic. Let's talk about the Call of Duty a minute. Obviously the game's been out a couple weeks now. They've had a few updates. The pros have been practicing doing scrimmages a bunch lately. My team, which by the way, I'm officially signed to the organization now. Remember I was talking about last podcast? Yep. I'm officially signed. On a whim, we tried that, and boom, look at us now.
Well, like they say, you never know unless you try.
Yeah, and I was watching something today. The CDL came out with it on their YouTube channel. It said more and more pros are retiring later and later. Because before it was thought, once you're 24, 25, it's time to retire in the Call of Duty League.
Yeah.
But they're finding out more and more. There's more evidence to back it right now that you're coming in your prime in your late 20s to early 30s.
Yeah.
That's why, Scump, he's almost 30. He's 28, 29,
mm-hmm.
and he's starting to hit his prime. But he's retiring, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless they win all the tournaments, I think is what he said. But, man, I'm right now comfortably – I'm getting very comfortable with this game. Not going to lie to you at all.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we have yet to, figure out the official roster for my team, but we're getting there. I think in the next couple of days we'll know something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, let's get back on track here. So the Call of Duty, the pros, there's 12 teams. Out of those 12 teams, there's a council of 10 of them that have one representative. And no, I'm sorry. All 12 teams has a representative for their team, 10 of which are mostly AR players instead of sub players. Well, they were talking about today because there's a lot going on with, the gentleman's agreement, the GA list. That's what everybody likes to call it, the GA list. The M4 is overpowered. They just took away every underbarrel attachment except for 2, which is crazy to think of. But I think what they're trying to do is nerf it so much to the point where they might as well just get rid of the gun itself in competitive play because it's aggravating to have to take all – because they were just talking about taking all the attachments off. It's well, that makes it not worth using anymore.
No, not really.
And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to veer off that track, kind of go to a different AR. But you can say the same argument for the submachine gun that's out there right now too. It's like a version of the AK. It's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there's a lot of controversy. Obviously 10 of those 12 representatives are AR players. So it's funny. They're actually going with this and wanting to get rid of the M4 as well because there's teams using 4 ARs.
Yeah.
Where there's supposed to be 2 ARs, 2 subs.
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy, actually, to watch. Last night I was watching scrims from Optic. All 4 of them use an AR. Well, 3 of them used the M4. Illy used a TAC, which is the SCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy. This game it's broken, but it's not broken. You know what I mean?
They say if it's broke, don't fix it. Well, it ain't broken, but it's got a few cracks in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they tried
exactly.
to fill in the cracks, but
Yeah.
you gotta fill in the cracks with something a little more sturdier than what they're trying to do. You know,
That
they're just like
reminds me-
pouring water through it and hoping it'll hold.
Yeah.
But
That reminds me of that story that Padres uncle used to say, or his cousin.
yeah.
Everybody's
That
got
story.
cracks.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, that's a funny story. Remind me to tell y'all that later. That's on the extended version of this.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man. Well, let's get into the next topic. Let's talk about some baseball here a minute. I'll let you kind of bring this
kinda-
one to fruition.
It's kind of baseball season's kind of ended.
Well,
so to speak,
yeah, it's
with the-
officially over, right?
Yeah, with Houston winning the World Series, Game 6. I believe they didn't go to Game 7. They won it 4-2 over the Phillies.
Yeah. So what's interesting about that story that you were telling me about the other
Yeah.
day? That guy's predicted like the World Series right every year
Yeah.
for what? How long?
I want to say it's like 10 to 12
That's crazy.
years. And this year, of course, he predicted the Phillies. But I guess, like most streaks, there's an end to every streak. So
Yeah, and we'll talk about another
But-
one of those streaks that
Yeah.
ended, a
But
little bit later.
there's an end to every streak. So, but Houston was able to win it. I believe they said it's the second World Series in their history.
Wow. Okay.
I believe, if I remember
Well, yeah.
correctly.
Well, they won the one where they were cheating. Obviously,
Yes.
that was what a few years back.
Yeah, but I believe it's the second that they've won ever. if I'm
Interesting.
right. But and then their general manager.
Yeah. Well, like just this week,
yeah,
today.
Yeah, they offered him a 1-year extension and
Yeah.
he turned it down and he left.
He left.
So-
He's gone. He's like, nah.
I don't know.
I'm getting out while the getting's good.
So but,
Maybe he knows something
um,
we don't. Maybe they're cheating again.
Free agency though is going to be
There's
something to watch.
there's a ton of
as,
free agents right now.
Aaron Judge is
Yeah.
free agent.
I know. I saw that.
um,
Which he's projected to re-sign with the Yankees, but you
Yeah,
never know.
He's already gotten tons of offers.
I believe it. He's one of the best out there right
and
now.
there's a bunch of other ones that are out there. They're looking. And then of course I'm sure that there'll be trades that happen between teams and
Always.
free agents. And then of course baseball has its own little type of draft where they're bringing up players from college and
Yeah.
other things.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, as the months progress, who goes where, and especially a lot of these big name free agents. Are they going to stay with their current teams, or are they going to find another team to go to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot in the baseball realm, as well as every sport. There's always stuff. I would love to see, going back to Call of Duty for a minute, I'd love to see a Call of Duty draft.
Oh yeah,
Like you
Yeah.
just every year you get, I don't know, 1-2 players, and those 2 players. No, I'm sorry. Let me reimagine this. I'm sorry.
reimagine that. Yeah,
Let me reimagine this. Hang on. Okay, so imagine this, right? We're sitting here. It's October. The game had just came out, but all the players and challengers from last year. Each team gets to pick up a player. They don't have to get rid of anybody, but that guy competes for a starting role. If not, he goes to the practice squad.
yeah.
And then the worst of the practice squad, because they already have 4, gets booted off,
That's right.
becomes a free agent,
Yeah,
or goes to a challengers team or whatever. That'd be kind of nice to see.
yeah.
That would keep it really competitive.
It would.
Really would. But let's move on for a minute. Let's go to college basketball. It officially has started, I believe 2 days ago.
Yep.
The regular season started. Obviously, the preseason and the exhibition game started a couple days before that, and obviously the week before. I think going on right now as we speak. I don't know if it's as we speak or tonight. They're doing the what do they call that tournament? The tournament basically is on a aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean, and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he looked at me crazy there for a second.
How does that work?
I think it's
They're just
inside. I think
well,
somehow
I
they
would
do it.
hope so.
Well,
But
yeah, because it'd be too
just
too
standing
moist
out
and
there
everything.
running up and down the wings out with the ocean waves, everything.
Yeah. I mean,
have to be
it's not like it's like on the sea.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's in the sea, but it's like it's docked.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I
that
mean,
makes more
and it's
sense
open
than
to just military, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
It's like a Veterans Day special tournament
Yeah.
they do for
Yeah.
like this weekend alone. Normally, the biggest teams out there, Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina, all the big teams normally play in it. I think there's a couple big teams playing in it. I think St. John's, or is it St. John's that's been decent in previous years? I'm pretty sure it is, but I
Yeah,
can't remember
possibly.
what the name of the tournament is. Anyways, I believe that's going on right now as we speak, or sometime today. That's always pretty interesting to watch. Kind of get a feel for who's going to be good. Yeah, here we go. Michigan State and Gonzaga. There we go. Which
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga
Yeah.
is second. I didn't realize that Michigan State's not ranked.
Yep.
That's actually crazy
That's
because
right.
Michigan State always is ranked when I'm watching basketball.
Well, not this year.
Well, not yeah, you're right. Not this year. Oh, it starts tonight at 6:30.
Okay.
It is called the Paraton Armed Forces Classic.
Okay.
There we go.
I see that.
I'll get the words here in a minute.
Yep.
But so officially, Gonzaga at number 2. Right now, you have North Carolina overall number 1.
Yeah.
They're always going to be up there.
Yeah. Houston's third.
Houston's third. Okay. Wow. Where's Duke? Duke's what?
Duke's
seventh?
seventh.
Wow. Duke,
Which is-
Kansas, Baylor, all of your blue
Yeah.
bloods of basketball, UCLA,
Kentucky.
Creighton, Kentucky, Tennessee. They're all in the top 10, top 15,
Tennessee's 11th. Yeah.
11th. Yeah. I mean, you got obviously. Is that? Did I see Akron or is that Arizona? That's Arizona.
Arizona.
I was about to
17th.
go crazy. I'm like, Akron, what?
Yeah. No, Akron's not ranked.
I can't read, okay? I will tell you something really cool. I just saw Oregon on there. Their basketball court is amazing. You ever seen it?
No.
It's like you're in a forest. Like when you look down from the upper deck, you look down, the whole court is painted like you're in the forest out there.
Okay.
Like in the redwoods.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking. You need to check that out sometime.
Yeah, I have to find the game online, because you know how often I go to Oregon. It's like all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I have to figure out if they're playing a home game on TV one day and watch it.
Yeah,
see what their
definitely,
court looks
definitely.
like.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Basketball, it used to be my favorite sport, right in front of football, which that's kind of changed as I've gotten older. Now football obviously is the number one. That's why we talk so much about it.
Yep.
But, I still love basketball. I love to watch it. Obviously we're Clemson fans. I do like to watch other basketball. Like I'm not like as huge of a Clemson basketball fan as I am a football fan. So I like to pull for other teams.
Yeah.
One of those teams being like Duke. I've always loved Duke. Always loved Kentucky.
Yeah, I
Just
like
as
Kentucky.
a kid, I've always loved to see those teams play each other.
Kentucky. My dad used to always watch college basketball and golf.
Yep,
Me
yep.
saying he always watched golf on Sundays, and I wanted to watch football. But he was always he'd always watch North Carolina in basketball.
Yeah,
He liked
yeah.
Tar
It's
Heels.
always been a good team. Ever since Michael Jordan's been there, even before Michael Jordan, they were pretty decent.
But I never understood. He graduated from USC. We
That's a
forgive
big
him
rival,
for
right? Yeah, we
But-
got to forgive him for that.
that. USC, South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the real
Yeah,
USC. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. South Carolina. But I mean, he only went there for like 1 year, I think, because they were the only place that offered a continuation in the degree that he had.
That's
So
right.
he
So
just-
he's a teacher.
yeah,
Okay.
he's got a doctorate.
That's right. That's right. He does have a doctorate.
He's got a book somewhere in his house that he wrote, because you have to write a book when you go
Yeah.
for a doctorate.
Yeah, that's
And,
your final thesis, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this I couldn't pronounce the title of that thing.
Did he
I
get
don't
it
know what
published?
was. Well, I mean, he's got a copy of it. So
I mean,
like
just his
in a
own copy.
hardcover
Yeah.
book. Yeah, I don't know if he could publish it. It's not a every day. I don't what it is. But the
Well, I mean-
title is not something that the average person would read in a
Well,
bookstore.
no,
and say,
obviously,
"Oh, I
I'm
need to
I'm
learn
just
that."
saying for like colleges and stuff. Sometimes like when you go into like USC or Clemson or whatever, and you're going through that doctorate course, sometimes some of the best doctorate thesis statements or books have been used as
Yeah,
demonstrations and things. And a lot of times they'll try to sell them to the students and things. They'll be in like the libraries and stuff.
yeah. I don't think he got it published like that.
Okay, I got you. I was just
It's
curious.
just education. So there's plenty of books out there for that.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. He just kind of wrote his theory on what he thought about the subject.
Yeah, pretty
Whatever
much.
said subject is.
Education.
Oh, it's on education.
It's a PhD in education.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. I got you.
yeah, that's
That makes sense.
pretty much what it
Duh.
is. So just wrote it on education.
Yeah. Sure.
But I mean, like, as far as like teaching, he
Mhm.
kind of specializes in the mathematical department.
Okay.
Math and trigonometry, geometry, and all that is kind of where he mainly focused on. But
So
yeah,
he's
he
just
can
a
teach
straight.
all subjects.
He's a math whiz then.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pretty much.
See, I was decent at math when I was in school, but I thought too fast. So
Mhm.
I let my hand do the writing before my mind got to it. And by that time, I already had the wrong answer. I'm like, forget it. I'm just handing it in.
Yep, pretty much.
That's the laziness aspect of it too. But oh, I don't miss school. I don't miss school at all. Ooh.
I miss the freedom.
Oh yeah. No bills, no
Exactly.
taxes, none of that stuff. Yeah. Obviously.
The I don't think anybody likes adulting. It's
No.
adulting
No.
is adulting is for the birds.
I
Give it to
agree.
the birds. I'll be, we can be like the birds and be free.
Be
But
free.
anyway, back on subject.
Yeah. Back to sports. Back to sports here. So let's talk about some pretty key upsets that kind of shook the whole country by storm in college football this past weekend. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you had some really big names go down. That kind of shook up the whole playoff picture, as well as the AP picture and everything. Obviously,
Yep.
AP doesn't matter
Shook it
anymore,
up.
but like the whole country's just shook up with these sports. So the first one, obviously, being Clemson, right? I honestly don't think Clemson showed up to play that game.
They didn't. They
I
didn't
mean,
want it.
you put in, you start DJ, and he's kind of still shaken up from Syracuse. I think his mental game's going back to last year. So he's playing. He's not playing his greatest. They take him out. At that point we're already down 21-0.
They took him out for one drive.
Well, no, it's just hear me out. I'm getting there. Okay. God, running the gun. Why don't you? Man, he just stole all my mojo. I forgot what I was gonna say now. No, I didn't. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, they were down 21-0 at this point. Take him out. Put Cade Klubnik in. They're going down the field. They're driving the ball. 2 plays. They're driving the ball 2 plays. Don't look at me like that.
I don't know what drive you were watching.
No, I know. No, I mean he throws the first pass. It was good. He threw
Yeah.
2 passes that drive. Second pass ends up being a pick.
Well, that first pass was called back because of that penalty.
Well, yeah, for real. Anyway, there was too many penalties and non-called penalties in
Got
that
that
game,
right.
which it wouldn't have really affected the outcome as much as we would like for. Obviously, Clemson lost 35-14, and the last 14 for us was mercy points. Like they just let us score twice. But ensuing drive, DJ gets back in the game. They're driving down the field really good, and then a mistake on the receiver's part, runs the wrong route. He's thinking it's a fade to the end zone. It's a back shoulder to the sideline, gets picked off, and not only is it picked off, it's a pick six, man.
Yep.
And I think that just demoralized the team so much. At that point they're down 28-0. I think they gave up at that point. I mean, there was still plenty of time in the game. I've seen them come back from worse.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston College, they came to our house 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And we're down big. And DJ, we're down over 28 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And DJ came back and won that game for us.
Yep.
He really showed up that game. And I feel like he has the mental to do it against anybody. But I just feel like they just lost every bit of hope they had at that pick six.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously Clemson loses. It's tough for us because we haven't experienced a loss this year yet, except for that game. Now we're 8-1. Still have a chance at the playoff. There's a few things that have to happen. We got to win out, obviously. That's the biggest thing. North Carolina has to do really well, which I think they are. And we'd have to beat North Carolina in the ACC to kind of boost us up. Plus, some other teams would have to lose,
Yeah.
which is very possible. It's still like anything's possible right now. There's still 3 or 4 weeks still left of the regular season.
Been crazy.
I mean, this season's been crazy in general. I mean, look at Alabama. We'll talk about them right now, actually. So look at Alabama. They just suffered their second loss of the year
In overtime
in overtime.
by a 2-point conversion.
That's my thing, right? So LSU, I didn't get a chance to watch this game because I was doing my tryout, obviously, for Call of Duty.
Oh, it was amazing.
I watched the first half. But
Yeah.
then as the Clemson game went to halftime, I had a tryout that night. I didn't have time to watch the rest of either one of the games. But I'm looking at the score, and all of a sudden ESPN goes, going to overtime. I'm like, well, is that the Clemson game? I'm like, no, it's LSU Alabama. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're going to overtime. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then LSU goes bold when they score the touchdown to tie the game. Well, I mean, they would have been – no, they won by 1 point. So they would have had to go on their extra point to tie.
Yeah.
But they went bold. So it's either lose or win right there in that situation.
Yeah.
And they decided to put their big boy pants on, play football, and win that game.
And it was a bold call because I was watching it.
Oh, yeah.
It was so they line up to go for two. And what it was a rollout pass for the quarterback.
Okay.
They rolled him out right into Will Anderson.
Oh, no.
And, I mean, this quarterback, LSU's quarterback, is fast.
Oh, I know.
He gets the ball, and he, no fear,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much runs straight at Anderson.
Oh, man.
And then just lobbed that ball. I mean, just a
He must have
bullet
taken a hit.
into his. No, he didn't get hit.
Oh, wow.
Anderson couldn't catch him. He rolled out in his way.
That's crazy.
And the guy got a block on Anderson. I believe Anderson got free right as he let the ball go, but he couldn't get to him. And then, yeah, the guy caught it and just fell in the end zone for the 2 point.
Wow.
But, I mean, not only going, we're going to go for the win right here. Brian Kelly's like, go big or go home.
He's always been a bold coach.
But to roll your quarterback out in the direction of Alabama's
their best defensive player, potentially one of the best defensive players in the country right now.
And risking your offensive lineman not being able to hold him back.
Yeah. Well, they struggled a little bit during that game again with him there, but they found a way to.
But that quarterback, I mean, watching him all game, I mean, he was just breaking tackles, getting out of
that's what
sacks.
he's good at. That's what Florida State's quarterback was good at. That's why Florida State beat LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very similar build. Both those quarterbacks are kind of like Hooker was supposed to be against Georgia. Let's talk about that. So Georgia steamrolled Tennessee.
Well, I mean, it was the game to find out who was real, and we
Georgia's
found out.
definitely real. I think I'll put my 2 cents in on this. So Georgia's a really good team. They've been in that moment before.
Yep.
Obviously, they won the national championship last year. Tennessee, on the other hand, has never been in such a big moment in the college football playoff era. Obviously, I think they've won a national championship before. No, maybe not. Anyways, I'll look into that. But they've never had to compete at this high of a level for this many weeks in a row.
No.
And finally, they competed at a high level against probably the best team in the country right now.
Yeah.
And they couldn't show up. I think they kind of like Clemson, they were demoralized mentally.
Yep.
They couldn't get going. Hooker kept getting sack after sack after sack. There was 3 sacks in one drive in the fourth quarter, which could have given them a chance to potentially start inching closer. But that drive got them out of field goal range. They went for it on fourth down, like 3 drives in a row. Didn't get it all 3 times. Got sacked all 3 times, mind you.
Yeah.
Same drive. It was a pass interference that gave them the first down.
Yeah.
They still don't score. I think he got sacked on the fourth down that time too. So it's like I don't know. I think Georgia's real. Tennessee has a lot more to prove. They're still 5th. There's still chances.
Yeah, there's still a chance for them,
especially
like
if Georgia beats LSU in the SEC.
Yeah.
Tennessee could still make it in.
Yeah, it all depends.
Yeah, exactly. So next team that had a really big upset, Oregon State. What happened with that, Justin?
Yeah, so Oregon was ranked 23rd, and Oregon State don't get ranked much.
No. Very, very seldom.
But they just Washington, who had made it up to 15th earlier this season.
Until UCLA knocked them off.
Yeah, and then
they
just dropped from there. They weren't ranked in this game, and Oregon State came in, and Washington just
showed them who's
took
real,
over.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of teams that showed up and showed out that they're who's real.
Yeah.
Notre Dame showed they have a chance to be real. They started the season, 5th? I think it was 5th or 7th, around that range. And I feel like they're finally coming into that form right now, the way they're playing. Another team that struggled, Kansas State.
Yes.
They just blew out Was it Oklahoma State? 45-0? Or was that TCU?
No, TCU hadn't lost. TCU
No, I'm talking
beat
about, was
Kansas
it
State.
TCU or was it Kansas State that beat Oklahoma State?
Kansas State, I believe,
Yeah, that's what I
was the
thought.
winner.
They won 45-0. Like they literally
48-0.
48
Oklahoma
nothing.
State, yeah. Oklahoma
And
State.
then they go to Texas, right?
No, it was a home game for them.
Oh, it was a home game.
Texas came to town.
Oh my goodness.
13.
That's demoralizing.
Yeah, Kansas State was 13th. They were.
They
Texas
were.
was 24th. And Texas came to town and beat them by 7.
Yeah, they took them to town.
Yeah, they took them down. Yeah, beat them by 7.
Wow.
Now, Kansas State, of course, dropped to 19th.
Yeah.
And Texas moved up, but just barely. They had to put them above Kansas State, obviously, but they put them at 18th.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
which I was really shocked they kept Clemson in the top 10. I would figure they'd been like 13th, 14th. That was what everybody was projecting. But being in the top 10 now, like we talked about earlier, there's still a chance. You know, LSU would have to beat Georgia, I think. No, LSU would have to lose to Georgia, and Tennessee would have to lose another game, I think.
yeah.
And then obviously your Pac-10 and your Pac-12 and your Big Ten teams, your champions would have to be 2 loss.
No, the Big 12 and the Pac-12.
Whatever. Big 12.
Yeah.
I'll get it right here in a second. Okay, it's Friday. It's rainy. I'm tired.
Because your Big Ten's got 2 teams.
Well, yeah, both teams are undefeated, Michigan and Ohio State. Speaking of Ohio State, what happened? I mean, well, I know what happened. It was very windy.
It was.
And they were forced to run the ball.
They're not good at that.
No, Northwestern's defense really showed up, especially the first half. Ohio State didn't score till like the last 2 minutes of the first half. And Northwestern scored early and just couldn't get it going after that.
Yep.
They kept running the same play.
I know.
Let's go Wildcat to the running back straight down the middle.
Yep,
Wildcat
run,
straight down the middle. It started working once they changed running backs in the second half.
Yeah.
But once they get down the field, they get stopped.
Yep.
You know, they'd have a good promising drive and just get stopped, you know. But Ohio State, with them struggling, are they really number 2?
No.
That's what I'm thinking. Because you
They're
got
not.
and they play Michigan in a few weeks here.
Yeah. And Michigan thrives on the run game.
Oh, I know. Well, they had over 300 yards against Penn State.
Yeah.
And
Ohio State can't really wait till second half to stop a run game like they did with Northwestern, because if you wait till the second half, by that point Michigan's already got like 5 rushing touchdowns on you in the first half.
Yeah.
If you ain't stopping them sooner. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the Ohio State-Michigan game is going to prove whether or not Ohio State deserves that number 2 spot or not.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a bold prediction about that. So last year, it was a home game for Michigan. It was in the Big House. And Michigan dominated that game, the whole game. It started snowing, and I think they beat them by double digits. If Ohio State starts the game slow, it'll be a repeat of what happened. Guaranteed. But
Yes.
let's go into another team that's really had some very recent struggles here lately, based on, which it shouldn't be this way, but based on quarterback issues, this team is starting to struggle really bad, and that's Syracuse.
Yeah.
Ever since Schrader got hurt, they've really fallen off. That backup's not near as good as Schrader.
No.
Schrader just controls the entire offense. He runs the ball with passion, with strength. He's not scared of nobody. He throws decent. He's not the best pocket passer. He's not the best passer on the run. But when he's running the ball and Tucker's running the ball, that opportunity gets open for his taller receivers. Gadsden. He's got that other guy. I can't remember his number. But they got 2 pretty tall receivers, and they go to him when they know the running game's working, because they're going to be open. And without that quarterback run game, Tucker's getting targeted a lot more, and teams are starting to see that and just stop him. And then they're forced to throw the ball, and you see how that's going. Obviously, they lost again. Games they should be winning right now, they're losing. After beating NC State,
without scoring a touchdown, without letting NC State score a touchdown.
Yeah, after
Pittsburgh beats them.
yeah, but they should have beat Clemson.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean Syracuse is kind of falling off without their kind of captain behind them. But I don't even think Syracuse scored a touchdown. I think it was 3 field goals.
It was.
That's
it was
that's
3
actually
field goals.
crazy.
Um,
They
so,
just can't
yeah.
get it going right now, unfortunately. I mean, I hate that for them because I really like Syracuse. I like Dino. Dino's a great coach.
Yeah, he is.
If there's anybody I would have liked to lost to, it would have been him.
Yeah.
Except for that dumb guy at Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's
I don't like him.
Nope.
Let's get into some previews of this week coming up. I'll let you kind of run it because I've been talking a ton this episode.
Yeah. Well, of course, this week is military appreciation.
Yes.
They're doing. So, Clemson's at home versus Louisville, 3:30 game.
I did read they're wearing all purple, no orange pants.
Yeah, I heard.
So I
saw
guess
that
since
come
they've
wearing
already
purple.
clinched, they're not worried about the orange pants. So
Yeah, no, they're not. It's really not a
not a necessity.
business game
Yeah.
or whatever. So they're doing all purple for military appreciation. That's what
Yeah,
they're
it's always a good game to go to. I think they'll have the flyover.
yeah.
They have a lot of veterans in there. A lot of people come on the field and they kind of applaud them and everything. It's a very special moment for all these veterans, people that are active or not active. It's really, like I said, real special. They have the 21 gun salute. They honor some fallen veterans, fallen soldiers. You know.
Yep. That'll be good. Of course, Missouri comes to Tennessee. That should be. I would say that should be easy for Tennessee, but we saw what Missouri did to Georgia.
Exactly. And it was a home game for Georgia.
Yeah, and after Tennessee just losing to Georgia, that'll be a game to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ohio State hosts Indiana.
Yeah.
Illinois is on upset alert against Purdue. Illinois lost this past week.
Yeah, so both of those teams are in the running for that side
Yes.
of the Big Ten. Whoever wins that game pretty much wins that side of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
So I mean that's a big game to watch. What time is that game?
That game is 12.
Okay, so it might be big noon actually.
Yeah, it could be. Then you got, of course, LSU and Arkansas.
Okay.
LSU's going to Arkansas to play. 3:30 game, Alabama at Ole Miss.
What's college game day this week?
I haven't seen that announced. I don't know.
I know it's been announced. I guarantee.
Well, I'm sure it has, but I haven't seen it.
I will find it while you're
So-
going over that.
I would imagine probably Alabama and Ole Miss. That's a big game. Obviously, Alabama 2-loss team. Ole Miss has only lost one.
Oh.
So it's going to be interesting because basically Ole Miss wins. They eliminate any chance Alabama has at getting back into the playoffs.
Yes.
So it's a big game for Ole Miss.
Big game for Alabama. They need
Yes.
it. They need a bounce back, and if they don't win this game, then you kind of start to see the downward trend happening before
And
our
it
eyes.
will because LSU hasn't secured that spot yet.
Yes.
If Ole Miss beats Alabama, LSU secures it because
Yes.
LSU beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, but I think LSU holds a tiebreaker over either one of those teams.
Yeah.
So the only way Alabama would make it is LSU'd have to lose and Alabama would have to win out. No, they'd still have to. No, LSU has lost 2 games,
Yes.
and it was to Ole Miss. No, they beat Ole Miss.
They beat Ole Miss. That's what I'm saying. So
Who'd they lose to? They lost to Florida State, but who'd they lose in the SEC to?
I don't think they've lost anybody on their side.
It doesn't have to be on their
Um,
side. It's just in the SEC total.
I don't know if they've lost anybody in the SEC.
Tennessee.
Did they
They
play
lost
Tennessee?
to Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they played Tennessee, so obviously they lost to them.
Yeah, they lost Tennessee.
Yeah. So the only way Alabama makes it to the SEC, Tennessee loses one more, and Alabama wins out. That's the only way. So it'd be interesting to watch on that side. I think Georgia's officially clinched the other side.
Yeah, I'm sure LSU will clinch this side though.
Yeah, all they have to do is win one more, I think. Just one more game.
Yeah.
And they play Arkansas. So
Yeah.
they should clinch this weekend, but Arkansas's been known to do some crazy stuff.
That's true.
I mean, they got a wonderful quarterback. They got some good players on that team. Just watch out for that game. That could be a little sleeper game going on right there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you about this about College Game Day real quick. Actually, no. I'll let you keep going, whatever you're going to go,
But-
and then whenever you get to the game, I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, that'll be an interesting to watch. That LSU Alabama game. Of course, you have NC State and Boston College
Yeah,
playing.
that's
Washington and Oregon. Washington's ranked. Washington's back. They're 25th.
okay. And Oregon's in the top 5.
Sixth.
The
They're
sixth. Okay.
Yeah. So that one will be, and then TCU and Texas.
Yes. So TCU in Texas is College Game Day.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that would make sense because Texas is the favorite. It's in Texas. TCU
Yeah, it's a home
is 4th.
game. Yeah.
Texas is 18th.
It'd be interesting to see Texas and TCU because honestly, both of those teams have the caliber to beat each other. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
so it's going to be very interesting to see this game for sure.
UCF and Tulane. Both of those are ranked teams.
Yeah.
Tulane's been climbing the rankings.
I'm actually very happy for Tulane.
So that'll be an interesting one. And then of course you have so this one in Wake. North Carolina goes to Wake.
Yes.
North Carolina's 15th. Wake is the favorite. Wake's not ranked.
I think Wake needs to wake up and bounce back from these couple losses they've had the past couple weeks. And I think they do this week. I think they wake up. Sam Hartman has a really good game. I'm not sure if it's enough to beat Drake May, though. I think
That's
May
hard.
is just so good. You know, obviously, we can talk about this in a minute while we're
Yeah.
here. Drake May, he's one of the Heisman finalists right now.
Yeah, he's 6th.
He's 6th. I mean, but he should be a lot higher. And I think if he wins this game and his team makes it to the ACC on their side, then I feel like he is a Heisman contender. And I feel like he's top 2 at least. Because Hooker should have dropped.
Hooker's still 2nd.
How? That
He-
makes no sense.
He's 2nd.
And C.J. Stroud
He's 1st.
struggled badly.
So it's the rankings that I saw today that they showed was C.J. Stroud's 1st, Hendon Hooker's 2nd,
Don't tell me Bryce Young's 3rd.
Blake Corum is
Okay.
3rd. After Blake Corum, you have somebody. I can't remember his name. I know Stinson Bennett is 5th, right above.
That makes sense.
Right above Blake May, but there's another guy.
So Bryce Young's not
It,
even in
it
that
might
list?
have been John Robinson,
Okay.
that running back from somewhere. Okay,
He's from somewhere.
he's
Let's
he's
just say
been in the
that.
Heisman rankings, but not if what I saw they showed the top 7. I don't remember Bryce Young's name being in the top 7.
Good.
I
He
think
doesn't
he
deserve
fell
it.
out because
It's the curse of the Dr. Pepper. It's the curse of the Dr. Pepper commercial.
Yeah, well, their passing game downfield
Yeah.
is non-existent.
That's what I'm talking
They're
about.
ranked 54th in yards per attempt at 7.8.
Well, look at Clemson's deep ball. They don't have it.
Nope.
That's the thing. It's the curse of Dr. Pepper. DJ is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Bryce Young is sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Yep, that's what it is.
It's a conspiracy, right?
Yep. It's a conspiracy.
Oh, man.
Dr. Pepper is where quarterbacks go to die.
That's right. It's kind of like the Jets of college football.
Well, we really can't say that
Well, not
this
anymore.
year.
Obviously not anymore, but it used to be the same.
Yeah, I mean, we could go with like, the Lions of college football, if you want to say it that way.
But that doesn't make sense either because what's his name's with the Rams and they won a Super Bowl.
yeah,
And he was with the Giants.
Yeah, but I mean, the Lions have always been
Well, obviously.
iffy. But I mean, if you really got to pick a team that's always in the top, you go with Houston.
Yeah,
Or the Colts now that Manning has left. But
true. Well, let's get into some pick'ems from these games we just talked about.
yes,
Go back to the beginning.
I'm at the beginning.
Are you?
This is the beginning. This is the
Oh,
top.
okay. This is the top. What's the big ones here? Louisville, Clemson. Let's talk about that. So Clemson started as a 7-point favorite. I think right now they're 4.5,
6.5.
6.5. So they started at 7. They're down to 6.5. There's a lot of speculation on if we're going to come back or not. It is a home game. It's very tough to beat us at home. We still have the home streak alive. Obviously, the number one in the college football playoff era is out. But I see us winning by 14. I feel like we come back. We have a strong performance against Malik Cunningham and Louisville. And think we win by 14 there. I'm gonna say 42-28. Is that 15?
Okay. No, that's 14.
I mean 14. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
that's
thought.
14.
I wanted to make sure.
42-28.
42-28.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my final.
I don't see it quite that high.
Okay.
I see it more of a more of our defense standing kind of strong. Offense struggling a little bit, but I see it more of a 14-point game, but more in the realms of 38-24,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
I see that. More field goal. A couple more field goals then. Okay. Okay. Let's get into the next one. What do we got next?
We got LSU and Arkansas.
Okay. I'll let you run it then. What's your prediction here?
LSU is a 3.5-point favorite. I think they'll cover the spread, even though it's in Arkansas. The last time these two teams met last year, Arkansas won 16-13.
Yeah.
They won by 3.
Dogfight.
Yeah. I think LSU this year is slightly better than
Yeah.
last year's team.
So
More better.
this year's Arkansas
Better.
is the same as last year, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year's LSU is way better than that LSU team.
So I believe LSU will get it by 10
Okay.
in a 30-20 battle.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe it'll be.
I see that. What I'm gonna raise you on that. So I'm gonna put LSU 40.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Arkansas 24.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see LSU winning that game by a lot more.
Okay. Now let's do the Alabama and Ole Miss. This game.
Bama.
This game is Alabama struggling.
Yes, but
Obviously.
they always tend to show up when they not expected to.
This is true. Which everybody expected them to do that against LSU.
Yeah.
And that was also a dogfight. I believe this one is going to be a fight to the end as well.
I do as well, but I don't think Ole Miss has the firepower like Alabama does in those situations, or like
Yeah.
LSU did.
I don't think they do.
I don't think it's why they could compete with LSU because they got tired towards the end of that game.
Yeah, which is what's going to happen here.
Okay.
I think, too, Ole Miss is going to get tired. Alabama's going to get tired. They're both going to get tired towards the end of the game. But Alabama, I think, is only going to win by 7
Okay.
in a 35-28. And that's going to be they're going to be like leading. Ole Miss is going to get the last score of the game, go for an onside to try and tie it, but they won't recover it, and Alabama just run out the clock. But it'll be like a 35-28. It'll be a close game.
Okay. I see it being a little bit closer than that. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it's going to come down to a field goal, kind of like the Tennessee game. I feel like that field goal comes with like a minute and a half left. And Alabama has the ball. They kick the field goal, go up 38-35. I think Ole Miss gets the kickoff return. They start driving down the field, and Alabama stuffs them. They run the clock out.
Okay. Yeah, so Georgia and Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's not ranked anymore, are they?
It's in Mississippi State. The last time these teams, when they played back in 2020, Georgia only won by 7.
Yeah. I think Mississippi State then was a better team than they are now.
Mississippi State, they are 6-3.
They were ranked at one point.
Yeah, they
year.
were ranked at one point. I think that, of course, Georgia, 16-point favorite. They're going to cover the spread. But I really only see them winning this by, 21.
Okay.
So it's going to be a
What are they favored by?
16.5.
16. 16 and a
Yeah.
half. Okay.
So I think they'll win it, 42-21.
Okay. Yeah, I see Georgia definitely winning that game 100%. There's not a chance for Mississippi State. Even though it is a home game, it's kind of like Alabama last year. We thought Mississippi State had a chance to beat Alabama, and they did in the first few minutes. And then Alabama really put it on them. And I think Georgia will do the same thing. I'm thinking close to that number. I'm thinking 42, but I'm putting Mississippi State at 13.
Okay.
So a couple field goals and one touchdown.
Okay. And then game day, TCU versus Texas.
Okay, big game, really big game.
Yeah, so TCU undefeated, 4th, going into Texas. It's going to be another dogfight, back and forth, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Something similar to that Alabama-Tennessee game, just not as high of scoring.
Okay.
I think it'll be a little bit more defensive maybe on both sides.
Yeah, Tennessee. I mean, not Tennessee. TCU definitely has the best defense in the Big 12.
Yeah. But even with that, I'm gonna go with the favorite,
Okay.
Texas, in a but not a 7 point, in a 3 point game, winning it 41-38.
Okay. So I have this game. So, okay. Let's talk about this 1 second. I feel like there's a curse of the fourth place team.
I believe it.
Well, I know, for real. I feel like there's a curse on the fourth place team in the college football playoff era up until that final week. So I'm going to say Texas win this game by 13.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a home game for Texas.
Yeah.
They're fired up. Ewers is a wonderful quarterback. Give me Texas by 13.
Ooh. Well, yeah. That'll definitely fire them up even more.
Oh, I agree.
They
And
went by
that'll project them like where they rank now.
They're
18th.
18th.
That may put them closer to 10th, maybe 12th, 11th.
Yeah.
Still not eligible for the playoff because they've lost too many games.
Yeah.
But that gives them a really good bowl game, I think.
Yeah,
And that probably puts TCU completely out of it.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm. They're saying that if Clemson doesn't make it into the playoffs, they could face Alabama in the Orange Bowl.
I'd like that. I'd love to whoop the socks off Alabama and Nick Saban.
That'd be kind of fun.
It'd be great. Yeah, we'd have to go down to that one for sure. That'd be a good one to go see.
Capital One Orange Bowl. Where's that at?
It's in Orlando.
Oh, wow.
It's not in the same stadium as the
Cheez-It Bowl, but
the Cheez-It Bowl, but it's a nicer stadium down there.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a real nice stadium. Yeah, we'll definitely have to go down to that one if they go there.
So they're saying like the top. So if Clemson makes it to the Orange Bowl, their top two, from what I saw, the top two favored opponents that they would face would either be Alabama or Tennessee.
Ooh, either one of those games are top tier football.
Oh yeah, you're talking about real good games.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's kind of move tracks here. You know, we got a little bit of time left. Let's move over to the NFL. You know, we've been talking about college a while. Let's move over to dun 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 dun.
Is that how that goes?
I think so. I think I just sped it up a lot.
I hope so.
All right, go ahead. Lead us into this with the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles. Of course, we all know still undefeated.
Yeah.
Big question now is, can they go 17-0?
Honestly, it's very possible because the only teams they have left that have winning records are what?
The Giants and I believe the Titans.
That's it.
Yeah, Titans are 5-3. Giants are 6-2 currently, and the Cowboys. Cowboys are also 6-2.
Okay.
So yeah, they only have 3 teams, and the Giants have to play twice. So in reality, 4 games left against, and 2 of them being against the Giants, against teams with winning records right now. Because their next 3 opponents are the Commanders, the Colts, and the Packers. Who the Packers are 3-6, by the way. And
he wish he retired now.
Their schedule, if you look at the Packers' schedule, there's based on how all these other teams are playing and the teams they have left to play.
Mm-hmm.
There's really only one other team, or possibly 2 teams left on the Packers' schedule that they could win.
Yeah,
and the rest would all be losses.
Yeah, which is crazy to think of. Aaron Rodgers has been to, he's been to so many playoffs.
I know. So if that happens, Packers with a top 5 pick, get him a wide receiver for goodness sake.
Oh my goodness, yes, please. He gets rid of a good one, gets rid of another one.
I mean, the poor man, he's
over here trying to do it on his own.
I mean, you gotta. They're 3-6. If he still has Devontae Adams, you flip that record. They're probably 6-3, maybe 7-2.
Yeah.
But I say that, but Adams is out there in Las Vegas, and they're not doing so good.
Yeah, well,
out
that's
there.
true. But listen to this. Like on my fantasy team, I had Gallup. I think it's their receiver. One of their supposed to be better receivers. He yielded me 0 points 2 weeks in a row. What the heck, man?
Yeah, it's because they kind of moved to Romeo Doubs.
Yeah,
and Alan Lazard is their number one and number 2. But Dobbs is iffy week to week. I mean,
Yeah.
either he's dealing with an injury, or he goes over to the bench and soaks his gloves in butter before he goes out on the field because he's got so many drops.
That's so funny.
Um,
I'm gonna use that.
but I mean, there have been games where he's done good, and he will progress into a really good receiver. But it's
Oh yeah, I agree. It's
you
gonna take
know,
time.
But yeah, I mean, so the biggest question for the Eagles right now is, can they move to 17-0? Maybe, maybe not. If they don't, I don't see them losing any more than 2 games and finishing the season at 15-2.
Yeah.
They're still going to have
I
the number
agree.
1 seed. They're going to lock that up.
Yeah. Force the playoffs through Philly.
Yeah, and it's not easy to win.
No,
up
as
in
we've
Philly.
told like every week, it's super cold. It's a very hostile environment. You're not going to win in Philly unless you're going to be the Super Bowl winning team. That's the only way you win that game.
Yeah, and Philly, I believe, has that team this
I
year.
do too. I think this could be their year finally after a few long years of, not long years, but
Yeah, well, yeah, it's only been
it's only
like
been since
3 or
Nick
4.
Foles, right?
Yeah, since that one. That was back in what was that? That was 17,
17.
17, 18, somewhere in
Yeah.
there. Yeah, when they won that one. So, yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Um,
Now, so the Jags.
yes.
What's going on here? So the Jags
So-
started off. I mean, they were decent, and then they started getting worse, and they got better. Now they're down 17-0. No, 21-0.
20-7.
20-7.
20-7.
You're right. You're right.
So the Raiders,
Well,
poor old
poor
Raiders.
old Raiders, man. Poor old Hunter Renfro. I feel
3
bad for that
straight
guy.
weeks for the Raiders. They've been up.
I know.
They're kind of, the Ravens. And
They're looking like the Ravens. I was about to say.
trending that way. But yeah, they were up 20-7, and Trevor Lawrence and ETN said, "Okay, y'all have had your fun. Our
Yeah.
turn."
Well, let's go back to Clemson days and just show them up right here.
Put up 20 straight. Won
Yeah.
it 27-20.
27-20.
And
Defense showed up, showed out.
yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was wonderful to watch. I saw a lot of highlights from that game.
And the Jaguars are not really a team that you would think that would make a comeback.
I know. I mean, they have firepower. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they lack the. They don't lack the ability. They lack the know-how at times to do it.
Yeah.
They look like previous Clemsons before Deshaun Watson,
That's right.
before Trevor Lawrence, obviously before DJ, which second-year DJ. Let's just say
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean they obviously made that comeback. Now the Lions and Packers, everybody's like, "Oh, it's Lions and Packers. Packers win. Yay." Nope.
Which-
two goal to go situations, and Rodgers throws an interception.
He threw 3 total, right?
He threw 3 total in that game, and the Lions were able to sneak away with that win.
I know.
But
But it's funny. The Lions are still scoring a ton of points,
I know.
but they're not winning.
Nope.
They almost hold the record for most points in a game on average, and they have a losing record.
Which means that their opponents have to be scoring more than them.
Well, that means the Lions' defense is terrible. Which
That's
last
right.
year they started 9 rookies on
Yeah.
defense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anybody that's a veteran in there, because a veteran's considered 5 years or longer.
Yeah.
They have nobody in there. Like their oldest player is maybe 3 years in the league.
Yeah. Don't they have? Were they the ones that took Hutchinson? Adian Hutchinson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean that's going to be a good player for
Well,
them
but
right
they
there.
got some good players that are gonna build into those roles.
Yeah.
But they're used to college, and they don't have all this chemistry yet. It takes time to build chemistry, and they're building it. It's going to take a little bit more. They're getting there. But
Yeah.
poor old Aaron Rodgers, man. He's not having a good year. He should have
Yeah.
retired when he could. Kind of like Tom Brady.
Yep.
Speaking of
Oh.
Tom Brady, what
Yeah.
did he do this past weekend?
So he became the first player in NFL history to reach 100,000 passing yards. Now that's not just regular season. That's regular season combined
yeah.
with the playoffs. So that is, I mean, he's getting close, depending on how long he plays. He's getting close to 90,000 regular season yards.
yeah, which is
So,
insane. Actually,
yeah.
nobody's ever going to beat that unless
No.
they play for as long as
As long
he's
as
played.
he did. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much set the record.
Oh, 100%.
And will own it for a long time. But yeah, Tom, 100,000 career yards for him.
He's breaking a lot of records this year.
Some he doesn't want.
Well, yeah, some he still doesn't want. Yeah, obviously the sacks is a big one. With him losing his family,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, at this point, all you have is football. So
that's right.
he could play as long as he wanted to. Now at
Pretty
this
much.
point, I mean, he has nothing holding him back. Obviously, he made the wrong decision there, I think, because look at the team this year.
Yeah. So you have yeah, that, and then Justin Fields
Yeah, Justin
became
Fields.
he broke the record for
Mhm.
most rushing yards by QB in a regular season game. He had 178.
Yeah, who held that before? I would assume Cam Newton was one of those guys.
Probably. I'm not sure. It might have been Newton who had the top.
Because I know at one point Newton had like the record for most rushing touchdowns in a season by a quarterback.
Yeah.
That was
this
his MVP season.
Yeah. I think this was most rushing yards by a QB in a single game.
In a single
No,
game, yeah, no, I knew that.
that's
yeah.
the wrong one. Uh regular season record for rushing yards by QB.
Regular season record. Okay.
And he did it in one game.
Wow, that's interesting.
178 yards.
Wow.
And they still lost.
They still lost, yeah.
But no,
Oh,
that
man.
was
That's going to be a good team, though.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good team going forward.
No, that was Joe Mixon sets the Bengals franchise record for most touchdowns.
Oh, yeah,
in a
most
game with
touchdowns.
5
Yeah, that was insane,
when
too.
he had that, last week. But
yeah.
and then Carolina last night.
Oh.
Awesome game.
Yeah, let's talk about those jerseys a minute.
Oh yes.
The blackout is
yeah.
fire,
I like it.
bro.
That
I
needs
need
to
that.
That needs to be like permanent.
I need that helmet in my collection.
Yeah, that helmet was just
It's so nice.
it's amazing. All black.
Oh,
it was
man.
great, and they they put those like hype videos on there on
Yeah.
Halloween, kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
spooky. And I think maybe the Atlanta team watched too many of them
Got too scared.
because they were scared last night. I mean, Brian Burns and Frankie Louva, Shaq Thompson, Gross Matos, they were flying around that field, just breaking through that line. I'm surprised there weren't many holding calls called because, I mean, Derek Brown.
Couldn't stop him.
I mean, like every snap, he was just knocking guys over,
Mhm.
and Mariota just having tough times in the pocket, just staying in there.
Like that pass when he
Oh
was
yeah,
on the
that
ground.
one pass. He gets tripped up, and he's just like rolls over and kind of
He's
lands
completely
and throws
laying
it.
down and throws it. It's
Yeah,
like, what's
it's
going
just-
on with his mental, bro?
But yeah, and they were able to get a pick. J.C. Horn was able to. I don't know where he was throwing that ball to.
Hey.
Overthrew his receiver.
Yeah.
They should have had some more, but
The running game.
the running game.
Yeah.
The running game has gotten
Insane.
better.
Yes.
Actually, since McCaffrey left.
I think
They're
he was holding
rushing-
them back.
They're
honestly.
rushing for like, the past 3 games they've had over 100 yards a game.
I think it's over
rushing.
120 yards a game rushing since McCaffrey's been gone.
I think at the Atlanta
Foreman-
game they had like 109.
Okay, well, it's
So,
close.
yeah, it's
110.
over 100
Yeah.
at like every game.
Wow.
And I mean,
And he's getting like 2 touchdowns a game.
yeah,
It's crazy.
Foreman,
This man's a beast.
breaking through that line, and I'm telling you, he's a shorter Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
is what he
yeah,
is.
I agree.
But I mean, he played with Derrick Henry, so he learned. But Carolina, they're not out of it yet.
They're on the up and up. They're
They're
trending up.
the Bucks play the Seahawks Sunday morning in Germany.
Yes.
First ever game in Germany.
First time Brady's ever played in Germany. And
Yeah.
he'll be the first quarterback ever to play in how many countries? 4 countries.
4 countries.
Yeah.
So now
Another
Seattle.
record.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
Seattle has been playing really, really good.
Yeah, Gino's been looking really nice.
The Bucks have been struggling.
Yes.
If the Bucks lose that game,
Mm-hmm.
they're tied with the Falcons at 4-6. Carolina's at 3-7.
Okay.
All Carolina's wins have been in the division. They've beat the Saints, the Falcons, and the Bucks.
Interesting.
Now, if Carolina continues on their trend that they've been on of winning, depending on who they have left, so they have the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
They go to Baltimore next week, which Baltimore's blown leads.
Yep.
So, I mean, they've got a few tough games left. They have Baltimore. They've got the Seahawks. They got to go to Seattle.
I love how you didn't mention the Broncos as you pass it.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I'm not worried about the Broncos.
No, I mean, it's a home game.
Yeah.
They have the Steelers and Lions at home, and then they finish the season at the Bucks and at the Saints. But I mean, if they were to pull out the wins, if they were to sweep the Bucks and Saints,
Mm-hmm.
that puts them theoretically at 5-7. They're able to beat the Lions, the Steelers, Broncos. That gives them, 8-7. If they lose to the Ravens, but if the Ravens is their only loss
in the next stretch.
for the rest of the season,
Okay.
they finish at 9-8, and depending on how the other teams do,
They'd have to be number one in the division because they beat the Buck twice. They beat the Saints twice.
well, it comes down to overall
Beat the
record
Falcons
before
once. Okay.
it's overall record,
If there's
then
a tie.
it's division record,
Oh.
and then it comes down to
Interesting. That's weird.
because
It's odd how that works.
it is, but I mean, still that's handing because the Falcons, they're on and off and on and off, so
Yeah.
they're bound to lose at least 3 more games.
Sure. Oh yeah, I agree.
And the Bucks, probably.
see how
I
they're
mean, they
doing.
lose. They lose to Carolina. That's another one, and then they lose a couple more. I mean, Carolina could win that division
Yeah.
at 9-8
Oh yeah.
and have the 4th seed in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Which would give them a home game.
Yeah.
The scary thing that I have about that scenario is if they were to win that, they might be headed to Philly
Philly. Yeah. Exactly.
to play up there, which
that's really scary.
which Carolina, they're used to the cold weather. They play, so it
Yeah.
would be an interesting. And Carolina's got the secondary to hang with Philly.
I agree.
Carolina's got the running game.
Yeah.
They've
I think
got
they're
the defense. That would not be a high scoring game, I don't think, in any aspect.
no. I think they're finally clicking on all cylinders. I think they're finally figuring out who we really are.
Yeah.
Quarterback game's working good. Running game's working good. Everything's just smooth right now. It's like a well-oiled machine getting better.
Yeah, it's gonna. PJ Walker's he's getting more comfortable. He's learning to find his receivers. The running game has really opened up everything, and that defense is just they're standing firm on everything. They let that one touchdown that Atlanta had, that last one they had, it was just a blown call on the defense because he snuck in behind them, and it was just a miscommunication there, but they're holding their own, and they're Steve Wilkes has told them, hey, we still have something to play for, so
Yeah.
let's keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, so let's do our final little topic. So we did pick'ems for college football. I don't know a ton about the NFL. I'm getting there, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you specifically do pick'ems for the NFL.
Do pick-ems for the NFL.
Yes. Like what's your top 5 games for the weekend?
Top 5. Well, obviously the first one would be Sunday morning, Seahawks and Bucks
Yes.
in Germany.
Yeah, I agree.
I believe Tampa is slated to be the home game for that one, but
That doesn't matter.
no, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's Germany. It's not really
Germany.
a home game. They just have
No.
to name somebody home team
Well,
so they
obviously.
can know what jerseys to wear.
Yeah.
But I believe that Seattle pulls out that win.
I believe that. Yeah.
I obviously I don't think it's gonna be like a big
Blowout or
scoring game,
whatever.
but
Yeah.
I see it more in the realms of Seattle winning it 27-17.
Okay.
Is what I see there.
I like that.
That Tom Brady will have he'll have a couple touchdowns, 1 or 2, at least one touchdown, but I think he's gonna throw a pick because Cincinnati right now, I think it was last month, the 2 rookies on their team were named Kenneth Walker, their running back, and Tariq Woolen, their cornerback, both rookies, were named offensive and defensive NFC rookies of the month
Oh wow.
on their team because they've exploded.
Speaking of the Bengals, let's talk about one thing real quick, and then we'll go back to your pick'ems, your
The
last
Bengals.
4. So the Bengals obviously just beat Carolina
Yeah.
last week, and then this week obviously Carolina beat Atlanta. So you were telling me about the curse of the following game after Carolina.
Yeah, which we won't get to test it this week because the Bengals have a bye.
Yeah.
But and Atlanta won't play Sunday because they just played last night.
Yeah. But
So we'll have
next
to wait
week,
till the following week
both teams
to find out. So what it is teams after playing Carolina this season. Carolina's 3-7, but teams after playing Carolina are 0-8 the following week.
That's crazy.
They have not won a game after playing Carolina. Whether they beat them or lose to them, they have not won a game.
That's crazy.
So it's gonna be interesting to see if Carolina can keep that one up.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Not that it's in their power, but
no. But another interesting to watch would be Bears and Lions.
okay.
The Lions, after what they did to the Packers last week, they're going to be kind of, But the Bears, watch out now, because the Bears are starting to make a move.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, Obviously Pittsburgh traded Chase Claypool to the Bears.
Yes. Very good
Um,
wide receiver.
The week before that, Justin Fields had an awesome game,
Mm-hmm.
posting career highs and all kinds of passing stuff. But that's going to be good to see. I have the Bears winning that game.
Okay.
I think that one's going to be a little bit more different. I believe the Bears are going to win at 28-10.
Okay.
Because I think they're in that matchup. I think they're a better team. The Bills and Vikings. This game is going to be good. The Bills lost to the Jets
Yes.
last week. Embarrassingly. Well, not embarrassingly, but, 2017, you lose to the Jets. So the Bills are now playing the Vikings. The Vikings are 7-1. They have been playing incredibly. Kirk Cousins, 1 yard away from 2,000 yards passing.
1 yard. Wow.
Yeah. He's got 1999.
Interesting.
Josh Allen, obviously, passing leader.
Yeah, he's
he's
always
got
up there.
Yeah, but what this game's going to be interesting. It's in Buffalo. Buffalo's the favorite, obviously. But I think this game is going to be tough for both teams. They both have good defenses. They both have good offenses. It's going to come down to the wire, I believe, but I see it 24-21 in favor of the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Vikings are going to pull out over
I could see
over
that.
the Bills.
I could definitely see that.
And then we move into some of the afternoon Cowboys and Packers. We got the Cowboys and Packers playing. Obviously the Packers are struggling. Dallas is not struggling.
Yeah.
They're 6-2. Dak is back. Has been back for a week or two now.
But still got a wonderful backup.
Yeah,
Wonderful
they still
backup.
do. So that they're not worried there. I believe Dallas wins this one, 28-14.
Okay.
I don't, because Cowboys still have a great defense. Micah Parsons,
Yeah, you're right.
Diggs, on over there. So, yeah, I think they'll win this one. And then, of course, the Eagles and Commanders play Monday night, but Eagles win that. I'm gonna do the Sunday night game.
Dang.
It's in Philly, and it's they're 11-point favorite. They're
That's
like
true.
the biggest. So it's like, but Sunday night, Chargers and 49ers. The Chargers and 49ers play. They're tied. Chargers and so this game could be. It could go either way. It's in for San Francisco. We know how crowds are in San Francisco. It gets loud out there.
Oh yeah.
But the Chargers, I think, are just a overall better developed team.
Well, they should be. They won the Super Bowl.
The Chargers.
I'm sorry. No.
It's the Rams.
The Rams. There's so many teams in L.A.
There's only 2.
There's so many teams in California.
There's only 3.
Well, there was 4 at one point. Okay?
Yeah, but they moved.
I know they moved, but listen well. That's why you're talking about the NFL and I'm not.
Yeah.
See,
But
I'm gonna get roasted a lot for that comment. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know. Wait a minute. I think there's only 3, right? Chargers, 49ers, and Rams.
Yeah, it used to be Oakland.
Yeah, but yeah, because it used to be San Diego Chargers.
San Diego Chargers, yeah.
Yes,
L.A.
L.A.
then,
Chargers, L.A. Rams, and all that. I'm making sure there's no other ones up there. But
I
so
confused him. Yes.
Yeah, so there's only 3 up there. But I think the Chargers will win this one.
Okay.
Handily, honestly, I see it more of a 31-20 game.
Okay.
So,
that's right. They got Justin Herbert at quarterback.
Yeah, you got to think that defense. You got Um, Joe, I believe. Well, I believe the 49ers have the other Bosa boy. You got Joey and Nick.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but I think one of them got injured
Did they?
and
Okay.
was out for the season.
Oh,
I'm not
I didn't
sure.
know that. Okay.
I think Joey Bosa's still playing. Um, but well, I mean, can't now. No, Joey Bosa's on injured reserve.
Okay. So he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. So it's going to be interesting in the fact that they've lost two of their starters. J.C. Jackson, who they traded for, he's on injured reserve too,
Mm-hmm.
and he's their top corner.
Yeah.
Now in that aspect, they still have Khalil Mack.
Yes.
That guy right there is a beast.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But I believe all in all, the offense will be able to win that game for them. And San Francisco, San Francisco, they've got a great offense. Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, um, Debo Samuel,
Yeah,
George
that's
Kittle.
wonderful team.
But I think in the end, it's the Chargers that hold it off and win that game.
I agree. I agree. Well, yeah, we've definitely had fun doing this podcast this week. Definitely stay tuned for every week we do. Always got good topics to talk about. Always have a lot of fun. Always want to hear some feedback. So if you see it on YouTube now, since we're posting it on YouTube, go ahead and shoot us a little comment on there, or on Facebook. Just say, hey, we're enjoying the content. I had a guy at church tell me Sunday he's enjoying our podcast very well. So, and I always hear different people talking to me and say they enjoy it. So we definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all. It's the
Yep,
rain, I'm telling
that's
you.
right.
We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Just if you don't already, go ahead and follow us on Facebook. If you want to continue to support us better, and you want us to upgrade, and so we can finally get a camera so y'all can see us do this, go ahead and support our Patreon that way. Or if you just want to do a little donation, if you see us in person, that's fine too. But go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, JNT Sports and More, Facebook, JNT Sports and More. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.